Two of the biggest clubs in Germany were relegated recently from the Bundesliga, and yet both Schalke and Hamburg, despite being favourites, failed to gain promotion back to the top flight this season. So let's see if my dad can do better as the manager of Schalke, while I compete against him to try and gain promotion at Hamburg. And in 5 seasons, who can rebuild their club to bigger heights on Football Manager? A reminder of the points tally is as follows. You gain 1 point for a higher league finish, 1 point for a victory over each other, 1 point for eliminating each other from a cup competition, 3 points for a domestic cup win, 4 points for a domestic league win, 5 points for a Europa/Europa Conference win, and 7 points for the Champions League win. Dad, you're taking over FC Schalke today.
Yep.
They've got a wonderful stadium that we're currently
Beautiful
watching
stadium,
in the
isn't it?
Euros.
Yeah.
They failed to gain promotion, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah.
But as did Hamburg. Both of them were favourites to go up. We can't afford that to happen in this rebuild.
No, definitely not.
But also we can't afford is players, because there's no budgets whatsoever. I mean,
Absolutely
you actually got
nothing.
a little bit.
Yeah, I can't do nothing with that, could I?
There's no point. You ain't buying any players that are any
No.
better. And that's because of the debts and loans, £145 million. To be honest, though, Schalke is lucky to be around still,
Yeah.
because of the financial troubles that they actually had at the end of the season. And Hamburg, their finances isn't too great either. As you can see, no more signings whatsoever. I'm actually up or positive bank balance, which is great, but I still have £33 million in debts and loans as well. So this is going to be a tough rebuild. This is going to come down to the games against each other more than who's going to be winning the Bundesliga and the
I couldn't
DFB
even afford to sell players, really, could I? Because I wouldn't even get in a high percentage of the
That's right,
the
yeah.
sell-on clause.
So I think right now I have 100% of the transfer revenue made, whereas Dad only has 10%.
I ain't
So
selling any players.
For every million that you sell a player for, you only get 100k of that in your transfer budget.
Yeah.
There's no point. You're gonna have to rely on your tactics, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And this is what you're going for, kind of like a 4-2-3-1, but
It was the best tactic I could come up with the players that I've got.
Yeah.
And some of them are good, and especially the two that I've locked in. I felt that he was my best midfield player, and I had to lock him in, really. And the striker here, I mean, you look at him, you don't think he ain't that good, but he's the best of the bunch.
yeah, I mean,
So,
he's naturally a winger, so he's not even a striker,
No.
which is probably the reason why he doesn't naturally go up front.
probably why I locked him in, yeah, because I wanted someone else on the wing, yeah.
Yeah, and Seguin is one of your favourite players.
Yeah.
Loves to play in every single position.
Yeah,
Good
definitely a good squad player, yeah. There's number one Viatek.
So, there we go. Onto my Hamburg side, I've gone a little different. I've gone for a 4-2-3-1. I've also got a target forward in my lineup, and that's because when I do the best 11 pick, Glatzel is my striker. He is 6'4", decent attributes, 29 years of age, German striker. Good in this league, I think, and I was happy with my lineup and how it was. I think my star player is probably either Glatzel or Ferrari. He was a 22-year-old Dutch centre-attack midfielder. We'll see how that one plays out. We've got a couple of lone players in the squad as well that might get used, as you can see down there, but they're not necessarily what I'm relying on this season, which is actually really a good thing, obviously, because when we do eventually go into season 2, if we get up into the Bundesliga and your best players all of a sudden leave,
Yeah, we're in trouble.
we've seen what happened with Burnley.
Yeah.
So, schedule-wise, let's have a look, see how Hamburg has started this season. We played each other in the very first game, and I picked up the win. A lovely 3-2 win. That's 1 point already. Also, we've listened to your ideas about the relegation. If somebody does get relegated in this, it's the same points as what it would be if you won the title, minus 4 points. We need to change the graphic at the start. Good start to the season for me. 4-0, 6-2, 8-0 against Hertha, who they're pretty much a Bundesliga side as well.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that's a hell of a result.
Huge
I mean, all your
win.
results there, 4, 6, 8, and 4. You're just scoring goals for fun, bollocks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You gave me the hardest game, and I was down to 10 men as well.
When I seen that, I was,
And you were 2-0 up.
2-0 up when playing against 10 men. I think we all just sat back with the cigars then, thinking the game's over, didn't we?
Exactly. But let's have a look at your other results. Obviously, we know that you've dropped points already. You have also drew there to Eintracht Braunschweig 0-0, but you have picked up some good wins, 3-2, 3-0, and a 2-1 there, and we're both through to the next round of the cup, which is my favourite cup. I'd love to win this trophy, but I'm more focused on just getting promoted for now. So let's see how we get on this first season of Hamburg versus Schalke. And first season, Dad takes the title.
Get in.
After the start I had.
I only lost 3 games, so lost the very first game, only 2 after that. Get in.
So annoying. I lost 8 in the end. Completely fell off compared to the start that I had. But yeah, you won it by 9 points.
Yeah.
Absolutely walked it. You lost 3 games. Oh, both of them.
Oh.
Come on. So that's 2 points. And remember, when we do promotions from a bottom league, you don't get any points for winning the league, or it's just finishing higher. So Dad gets 1 point for finishing higher, but I get 2 points for beating him. So there we go, how the point system's gone in my favor. We can see the top scorer was actually my center attacking midfielder, followed by your target forward, followed by my target forward, and we kind of dominated the average ratings there. But you had, by far and large, the most clean sheets. Marius Muller there was 16 clean sheets, 5 more than anyone else.
Good keeper.
And
will I replace him?
100%. You'll have about 6 keepers in this. People have started sussing you out big time in the comments. Keep calling them out. I'm enjoying it.
One good thing though, I probably won't sell him.
No, that's all right. Yeah. Okay, we're on Hamburg right now, which is mine. How did I do in the cup? Second round by Bayer Leverkusen.
You got to take that, really, haven't you?
Expected, really.
Yeah.
So squad-wise, goals, I had 24 from Farai, 19 from Galazzo. Ludovic Weiss also got 10, which is decent. Wingers got 16 assists there. That's very good.
Yeah.
Transfer budget. Come on, into the Bundesliga. Come on, come on, come on. Let's just hope we haven't been given our budgets yet, because I mean, we're at the 27th of May.
No, you might not have been given it.
Maybe, but
1st of June.
I don't know. Competitions. Quarter-finals by Borussia Dortmund down, so it's not too bad.
I'll take
Got
that. It's a nice little run, that.
Yeah.
Beaten by my favourite German side. I'll take it.
Third round, you knocked out
against the Yellow Wall.
Monster. Second round, when I was knocked out, you knocked out Werder Bremen, who are in the Bundesliga. So you did knock out a Bundesliga team.
Yeah.
Well done. Goals, Simon Terode, 36 now, or 22. He is out the door. As soon as Daz realised his age, he's gone. Of course, you still got Hassan Udriogo. For now,
18, yeah.
18 years of age. He played a lot this season, developed quite well. This is probably not the club that he should be in. He should be in mine. Because we know how you like to play it compared to how I like to play it.
Yeah, you'll lock a player in when you...
I'd be locking him in. I'd be building the team around him. And within 4 years' time, he'd be the best player in the world. You're going, I'll cash in on him, and then I can replace him with 6 players who are 28 and see how that goes for you. But
yeah, you just got the wrong impression of me, I reckon.
There's a lot of evidence online to suggest otherwise. So, okay, we'll see what happens to Hassan Udriogo, but for now, he is at Dad's Schalke team. You've also locked him down for a couple of years. He's got a couple of years contract left in his stuff. What about your transfer budget next season? So it is.
Got a wage budget.
Yeah, it ain't looking good. All right, season number 2. Let's see what happens. It was indeed the transfer budgets that we were given.
Yeah.
Or lack of, should we say. For Dad, you sold 1 player.
Got a lot of money for him, though, didn't I?
£1.8 million. A few players also left on freeze. And you only brought in 1 player, and it was a free transfer.
Yeah, I could only afford his wages, so I
Anthony
couldn't afford to play
Martial.
anyway. So, yeah. I had to get someone to score the goals in the higher league, didn't I? So this guy would do it for me. 28 years of age. Come on.
Once tipped to be a future Ballon d'Or winner.
Yes.
Don't know about that. But again, obviously, you sold a player for £1.8 million. You don't see any of it.
No.
Because you've now got 25%. We asked to have a higher percentage. You only got 25%. But yeah, over on the wage budget. So it is incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult. We got to survive this next season. Tactically, you've gone for the same tactic. However, you've got Top up top.
Yes.
And Kike Top is a youngster that you've got in your lineup.
See, this goes to show I'm learning from you and I can see this guy could develop into a very good striker. So I'm going to lock him in, knowing that I've got 2 well-experienced strikers to go beside him.
Yeah, he played last season 34 games, sorry, for your second side.
Yeah.
And scored 22 goals. He knows where the back of the net is.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a chance.
That's for sure. And he's got 2 goals already in 3 appearances in the Bundesliga. So it's a good start for Kike Top.
Yeah.
The rest of the side, if we did pick without best 11, without restriction, obviously you can see Kike Top leaves, which is the reason why you've done it. But that's what Daz's lineup looks like if he did.
And I ain't going to lock the guy in midfield. He automatically picks himself. So that's another good one, yeah. So
did I have much more of an interesting transfer window? Well, the answer is actually yes. Mainly because obviously I could sell players and gain the actual money for it. But I actually spent £6.5 million. I brought in £4.4 million worth for Paul Jackal from Union Berlin. So he's a good centre-back, to be honest. Already got Bundesliga experience, 26, who's you know, if I wanted him, if I needed him to be my centre-back for the rest of this rebuild, then I could easily do so. And remember, Patreon members and channel members, you get the save game file on the £5 tier. Maybe you just want to pinch a tactic, maybe you just want to explore the save, you can enjoy that too. Or you want to carry on and set up a challenge for yourself to see how you do. You can do that, patreon.com/MegaLukeGaming, or join the channel memberships. We've got podcasts coming out on there, and also channel membership or channel members, you get to see a lot of these videos earlier, because as soon as I get it sent back from my editor, I just set it so that the channel memberships or channel members can see it immediately, and you guys who aren't channel members then watch it when it's supposed to come out. But you can watch it early if you're a channel member, which I can't do unfortunately on Patreon. So the rest of the signings, a lot of free transfers. We've got one that comes in here in centre mid, but it's a bit of a all-rounder, to be honest, one of Dad's favourite players there. Roberto Insigne. Now, I'm curious, is this Insigne's brother, Lorenzo? It is indeed. So it's Lorenzo Insigne's brother. Got him from Palermo on a free transfer. Benno Schmitz, again, squad players. Our roles have definitely reversed here. You're locking players in.
Hey.
You've got the youngsters. I'm signing squad players. I'm going to sign about 7 keepers next season. You just wait. Poor Jacko. And then finally, Youssoufa Moukoko.
Yeah.
Cracking player.
We do like his play, don't we? We use it quite a lot of times.
Yeah, absolutely. On loan for this season. I am paying a bit of a wage, but I can't get a player of that caliber. So I've gone for a narrow diamond. I've gone for a trusted narrow diamond that I like to use. Now, Moukoko doesn't actually go up front, but every time I've been doing it pre-season, he has been. And I pretty much imagine Moukoko will go up front and play a lot for me this season when he breaks into the first team lineup. For the rest of my side is, as you can see there, is kind of what I'm happy with. So schedule-wise, we haven't played each other yet. However, first time in the Bundesliga after our promotion, we've got a draw to Gladbach, a loss to Leipzig, which is difficult to take, to be honest. A loss to Heidenheim in the 94th minute. Now, you might say, oh, you must be worried about that. I'm actually not. Heidenheim have a good side on this.
Yeah.
And it's my first game in the Bundesliga. 94th minute winner for them.
Yeah, it's a pity.
So be it.
And the other goal was an own goal.
Yeah. So I'm more focused on these results. And to be honest, a 0-0 against Gladbach, I'll take, definitely. And just losing 2-1 to Lois Openda brace, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, you got to take out.
Could be a lot worse.
That's not too bad.
No, absolutely.
It's just about survival in this season, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Avoid that -4 points. So, Dad, your Schalke side, how have you been getting on the season? You picked up a win against Augsburg. 3-1 is a great win there at home. Got to be happy with that. A draw to Bayer Leverkusen, though, is huge.
I was happy with that.
Yeah, after going behind as well.
Yeah.
And then finally, a loss to Bayern Munich. Harry Kane and Gavi scored against you, but yeah, only 2-0. It could have been a lot worse.
I had a good win in the cup.
Yeah.
6-0.
6-0. So first round of the cup's always going to be nice and easy for us. Last season, I don't want to see what happened last season because Bayern Munich finished first. So Leverkusen actually finished 9th. So how wrong did Football Manager get that?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I don't think anybody thought they'd have gone the whole season without losing a game, though, do they?
No, absolutely crazy. So
well done to them.
I'm
Absolutely
so
brilliant.
curious how good they're going to be in the next FM.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, when a freak thing happens like that in real life, you're always curious to see what happens in FM. Because I remember when Leicester won the league in real life, and every Football Manager say, if you'd ever do, Leicester would get relegated. And then the year after, it's like, well, Leicester's team are unbelievable now. And it was so good to pick the players off. But there we go. So, that was last season. This season, the season preview, sees us joint at the hip again.
Ooh.
Both on 350 to 1 in 12th and 13th place. So they don't see us as favourites to go down. Heidenheim are, even though Heidenheim last season got a Champions League spot.
That's weird, isn't it?
So I don't know why they are seeing Heidenheim as so bad, because last season they finished in 4th place. Mental. And some of the players that Heidenheim have got, obviously Dennis Mann is a quality winger. I don't get it. I have no idea why they predicted to finish bad. But there we go. Season number 2. Let's get this one underway because the points tally is quite close. It's 2-1 in my favour. Let's see what it is after season number 2. And again, Dad finishes slightly higher, but I tell you what,
we got to be pleased with that, though.
We have both got to be over the moon with that. I mean, you've got European football. I just missed out because Heidenheim finished higher than me. Shock, horror there. I mean, that loss against them now isn't looking too good.
No. That
would have put me right up there as a 6-pointer. But yeah, going down, mine's Freiburg and Hoffenheim in the playoff spot. We've done really well. We've come into this division. Leipzig won it, though. Leipzig won it. Wow.
So that result for yours didn't look too bad then, did it?
No, not at all. So, yeah, you finished higher than me, Dad. 56 points to my 46. I had a bad end of the season there. I kind of give it away a little bit. 10 losses, though. Yes, there's one.
That's that point gone already, isn't it?
Did you also beat me, though? We can't see it yet. We didn't draw. And I think you have beaten me. We'll have to have a look in a second. But you've got a point for finishing higher. I've got a point for beating you. Glatzel was the second top scorer of the league there. And one of the highest average rating. And he had the most player of the matches too. Glatzel.
Not bad.
Probably won the player of the season. What a player. So it's a good start for us in the Bundesliga. Pursuing obviously our first season back in the top flight. We're on Hamburg. Let's go competitions. Third round by Borussia Dortmund. Take that. It's
Yeah, you got to take it.
only 2-1 loss. You actually went through beating Bayern Munich there.
Get in.
Oh, so you
I
ended
bet they
up
weren't happy
finishing
with that.
semi-finalists. Gotta be happy though.
Yeah, 100%.
It went to Leipzig in the end. You got the domestic double, beaten by Leverkusen in the final. But semi-finalists, Dad, and knocking out Bayern Munich along the way. Very good stuff. We got 17 goals for Kike Top.
Here we go.
Worked in your favour.
Yeah.
Anthony Martial getting 16 goals as well. Simon Terode got 10, even though he only started 10 games. It's a cracking season. Udre Oko, he is developing lovely. Look at that. However,
Yes.
he is unhappy. He wants to move club, Dad, despite having a cracking season as well.
Problem is,
When
I-
they pull the trigger.
As much as I want to cash in on him, I'm only going to get.
Yeah. I mean, he's going for 70 to 81. Nobody's wanting him, though. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming in going, we want to pay money for him. And, again, you'd only get 25%.
Yeah.
So even if you did sell him for nearly £18 million,
I'm
you're
not
only
gonna
going to get
replace
20.
him. I'm not going to replace him, am I?
No, you're not going to have the money to do so. So that's tough. That's very tough. Transfer budget, though, Dad, 27 million. So you have got a budget to play around with
Yeah.
next season for your Europa League campaign. Hamburg, though, let's have a look at my squad. So I had 18 goals from Glatson. Yusuf and Makoko got 11, so I'm happy with that. That's not too bad at all. I was lacking goals elsewhere on the pitch, though, unfortunately, because I only had 5 players who actually got more than 1 goal, which I think is the lowest I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But there we go. Transfer budget for me, 10 million, which is a bit annoying. I do have 100% of my thing, though, so I can, if I do want to cash in on a player, I can do so. The last thing we needed to check, so I beat you 2-1 there. Yeah, we are in Hamburg. I beat you 2-1 there, lost against you there.
Oh, yes, get in.
So you got a
I
point
needed that
back. So let's go into season number 3. But first off, let's have a look at the points. Season points are Omega Luke with 1, Omega Dad with 2. Meaning the total points are Omega Luke with 3, Omega Dad with 3. Okay, we're level on points going into season number 3, so it's very close. Transfer-wise, I sold one of my best players, Ludovic Reis, for £16.5 million. Give me a bit more of a budget and allowing me to spread that money elsewhere, because his replacement, Oscar Zambrano, only cost me £3.9 million. So, as you can see, Ludovic Weiss there, cracking player, don't get me wrong, and only 25. Oscar Zambrano comes in, very similar type of player in that centre midfield spot, the creative kind of powerhouse going forward. He's only 21 as well, got him for 3.9 million. So,
bargain, innit?
yeah, I think it was good business there. I also brought in Valentin Gomez because I needed a left-footed centre-back to go alongside my right-footed one, and he could also play left-back too, and he's very good, to be honest. He's a cracking player. Again, only for £11 million. £9 million for my Yusuf and Makoko replacement, because obviously he went back to his parent club. In Tony Martinez, who then got injured and done his knee ligaments at the end of August, and he's going to be out for over a month. So that's not good. But he is a cracking striker, to be honest. He's got 2 and 2 for me so far. He only got 5, but that was in 11 games last year because he didn't play that much for Porto. And then the other signing, the first signing that I made was Andreas Hanch Olsen for £5 million. Another centre-back. This one's going to be a bit more of a rotational option just to give us like a bit more squad depth in terms of our centre-backs, because I've got Jackal and I've got Valentin Gomez. I needed a better centre-back backup option. Tactically, I'm sticking with the narrow diamond, but I have changed a few of the player roles around. So you can see Zambrano is now a centre midfield on attack. Tony Martinez comes in as like a pressing forward. We're looking a little bit stronger in terms of what I would consider as my best 11. So I'm happy with that. Dad, you had an active transfer window, but what I will say is you shot yourself in the foot, and you do it every time, and I mention it to you every time. You go for too many free transfers, and then the players that you were trying to sign for money, you had nothing left to actually buy them.
No, yeah, you're right there. I'm not worried about my strike force, so I was just wanted to strength from defence and midfield up.
Okay, so
And
you
I
brought
think that's
in
what I've done.
Lo Celso on a free transfer.
Yeah.
We've got Troy Parrott on a free transfer, another striker. Courtney House, a free transfer, left-footed centre-back. Then the guys that you were able to spend money on before you ran out of money was Noah Atubelo, who is actually a really good goalkeeper.
He's a really good keeper, but I thought he was going to be my reserve keeper, so my reserve keeper was awful. So
yeah, Gabbia coming in from Fiorentina, so
good
that's a good centre-back.
Yeah.
And Jakic, also from Freiburg.
Yep, just to strengthen the midfield up.
Strengthen the midfield, and that's obviously because Freiburg dropped down into the second division. So Dad took advantage of that, signing 2 of their better players.
2 Tottenham players there, mate.
Yeah, well done. Your tactic you've changed, Dad.
Yeah.
Kiki Top stays up top.
The winger. I'm sure the winger there is the one that can play left back as well. So I sort of dropped him into the position where he can play both.
Yeah, Uvajan and Merkin.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to see something different. You'll be looking like that. But
Yeah.
Udreogo's there, the Chelsea's there, Jakic.
So just strengthen the sort of make the midfield a little bit stronger. Jackis goes in, out the defence out, and I've got a good sort of still got the winger going up there, but he's in the midfield a bit more to strengthen it up, really.
Yeah. So schedule-wise then, how have we been getting on at the start of the season? We haven't played each other again. Dad, you lost to Leipzig, who obviously won the league last season.
Yeah.
Lost to Werder Bremen, but you did beat Nuremberg, who's just come up 4-1, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
And also through to the next round, second round of the DFB Pokal. But
Bit of one of them sort of starts, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when the fun starts now.
However, yes, Europa League. Aberdeen, Ferencváros, Olympiacos, Midtjylland, Lons, Maccabi Haifa.
That's
Young
one of
Boys
them where
and
you
Celtic.
think, oh, I should do, don't you? But it all depends how strong. Because I haven't really sort of played anybody that's really strong at the moment, so I don't know what my team's like at the moment. But
No.
I would
Well,
like
you
to
played
think.
Leipzig.
I'd like to think that I would go through.
Yeah. 2 Scottish sides in there.
Yeah, unusual.
Yeah, it is unusual to play.
I'd rather have been the
Usually-
other way round.
Yeah, usually you play 2 of the same country. It's not
Yeah.
usually a Scottish one, is it?
Pleased
So-
that they're both home as well, so that gives me a bit of a chance.
Yeah.
Win my own games and I'll be there.
That's a blast from the past, that's
Yeah.
it. Schedule-wise for me, I've had a lot better start. Obviously
yeah.
through to the next round of the Cup. Beat Bochum, beat Berlin, drew to Heidenheim, who of course we know is quite difficult. I was actually 2-1 up as well, but they equalised right after. 1-0 up and 2-1 up, but they equalised right after. So, going into, I haven't really had a big test. I've got that next month with Dortmund and Bayer Leverkusen, so that's going to be tricky there. But we'll have to see how it goes with it being so tight. Again, the points against each other and just finishing slightly higher is going to make a big difference at the end of the season. And now that you're in Europa League, that could be an advantage for me.
It could be an advantage for me. It's another cup to win.
Yeah, I
Get big points for those cups. Yeah,
you do
just
get big points.
You never know,
but
mate. I've just won one of them. That could be the difference, couldn't it?
It could be, but I don't think this early on you have the team to do it.
No, I
no
don't.
offense. But let's have a look then. Season number 3. Let's simulate it. And yeah, I was correct.
It did affect me quite big, didn't it?
Yeah, dropped down to 11th place, Dad. Right off the pace where I was.
Yeah.
9 points behind me there. I'm annoyed that I didn't capitalise on it so much that I got European football. That was thanks to Eintracht Frankfurt, who I'm guessing has won the cup. Which, hey, they're my favourite German side. I should be
Still?
celebrating.
Still?
Not in this. Bayern Munich won the league, so they're back on top there. I lost 13 games, Dad. You lost 14. Doesn't look like I've lost against you there or drew against you.
5-0 and 2-0. I didn't even score against you.
2 wins. So not only do I get a point finishing higher, 2 points there, beating you in both fixtures. And I'm guessing you haven't won the cup because there's
Nothing there, yeah.
next to your name. So how did we do in the cups? Second round by Paderborn. That is embarrassing. And for you, Dad, second round by Heidenheim. And round of
Newcastle,
16
not-
by Newcastle. So you qualified.
Yeah.
You lost 3-1 against Newcastle there, who
And I
actually
come
went on
against
to
one of the big
win the
guns.
whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's a bad season for me. That season could cost me this. No points at all.
Lost 3 games in the league. Aberdeen, Ferencváros and Young Boys. Drew to Celtic. 4 wins there.
Yeah.
Kind of the games you'd expect to be winning, which meant you went into the knockout playoff round. You beat Midtjylland there on penalties, and then that's of course when you come up against Newcastle in the round of 16. Difficult.
Yeah.
18 goals for Kiki Top,
I was expecting a little bit more than that, really, to be honest. His second season full in,
but the worst thing has happened, Dad. Udreogo is leaving on a free transfer.
Yeah.
Joining Bayern Munich, you were unable to secure him for a new contract. There was no
Weren't
point
interested
in
with
you
it.
cashing in because, I mean, 40% at
Well,
this point.
it's 40% now, but it was 20%
when
I had the chance to sell it, because I can't sell him now, can I?
So, I mean, the finances have definitely been helped, I guess, because of your European football jaunt. I mean, the debts are still high, but the balance is a lot better anyway. So it's giving you a £16 million budget for next season, which is something obviously you need to work on replacing Udre-Ogo. But let's see what else has happened. Let's have a look at my Hamburg side. 19 goals from Robert Glatzel. He's 32 now, though. 18 from Tony Martinez. I'm happy with that. He's also actually wanted from Al Nassr, and he's worth a lot more than what I paid for him. Oscar Zambrano, I think that was a good move from me there. I think he's developed quite nicely. He was probably my best centre mid now. And Farai got 12 assists last season. Not a lot of goals still, but we'll see. I'm holding on there. I'm doing all right. And my transfer budget for next season is 11 million. So, but points-wise, I've got to be happy with that season. I got a nice little win at the end of the season there. Nice 2-0 and a 5-0 there. Other than that, I had a bad run, bad end of the season, really, which probably cost me. I'd imagine I was probably up. Yeah, I was a lot higher throughout the season, dropped off in kind of the final third, unfortunately. Whereas yourself, you stuck around. You were just up and down in 10th to 14th in that range.
I probably had about 2 or 3 good results and then lost 4.
Yeah, you very rarely did you venture into the top half of the table, especially not in the second half of the season.
Playing those Thursday nights just killed me by now.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's have a look at the points tally then. To the season points after the third season is Omega Luke with 3, Omega Dad with 0, meaning the total points now are Omega Luke with 6, Omega Dad with 3. Okay, Dad, after losing Udre-Ogo, a decent free transfer replacement, Ernest Nuama. He's not the same type of player. He doesn't play centre mid, obviously, but as in terms of a creative talent, I think
it's a good signing.
Good replacement.
For this one,
On a free transfer as well, can't really argue with that. So Ernest Nuama joins the club. Then you've got Tim Breithorpe for £11 million, centre defensive midfielder.
Yep, just strengthening midfield because obviously I've just lost my best midfield player. So
Brian Gill, free transfer.
Another good free transfer, I feel, really is. So I've got 2 really world-class wingers now. Yeah,
and then Renato Vega in centre midfield.
Yeah.
Kind of a bit of an all-rounder, really.
So I've brought 2 midfield players in and 2 wingers, so what's happening next?
Well, have you changed tactic? Of course you have. Gone to a 4-2-2. We've got a half-back, an advanced playmaker, a couple of wingers, because obviously you just brought them in.
Yeah.
And it's looking like that. Kiki Top stays at top.
Yeah, they don't have to lock him in this time. He's good enough for his... get his own place now.
Absolutely. Okay, let's have a look to see what I've been doing at Hamburg then. So I've sold another £6 million. That was Robert Glatzel going after a couple of good seasons, but he's gone to Gladbach. He is 32 now. I found a better replacement, I think. So we'll have to just enjoy what I've got now instead. Dilrosun joining on a free transfer. That's a good winger, very similar to your Nuama one, just nowhere near as good. Romario Barro, free transfer, good centre midfielder. Again, just going to be a backup option. This one, though, is a decent option from Eintracht Frankfurt. Tuta, who's a good centre-back who's got a bit of pace about him, so not too bad at all. Then I've got Jan Kuchar. Now, this is the replacement up front. £7.5 million from Sparta Prague. He's got the pace, but he's also 6'1", so he's kind of more well-rounded, in my opinion. He's just not as good as heading as Glatzel is, but I think I prefer a player who is of that caliber because he's more of like a pressing forward.
Unusual to find a 6'1" player not very good at heading.
It's, or jumping, jump reach to 10. So he joins the club from Sparta Prague for 7.5. Then I got Tagsef from Rosenborg for £5 million, just another good centre midfielder, and Seiko Koita on a free transfer. I had to pay a little bit of compensation because he stayed at Salzburg, but again, it's a fast striker who likes to beat the offside trap, and he's left-footed too. That has allowed me to play a 4-4-2, so I've changed tactic ever so slightly from what I was running last season and gone for a 4-4-2 because now I've got 2 really good wingers instead of having the 4-4-2 diamond. I've got good wingers already at the club in Jatta who wasn't being used, so when I seen I could get Dilrosun, I thought, okay, I'll try and go for the 4-4-2 that I do enjoy, and then I've got 2 pressing forwards there of Kuchar and Tony Martinez. So schedule-wise, how's it started for me? Well, I've had a couple of tricky games. I had a nice little draw against Leipzig, and I've got to be happy with that because my defence hasn't been as good this season. So going to the 4-4-2, it's a nice surprise having a good defence. Beat Union Berlin, but then my defence couldn't stop the best team in Germany. Eintracht Frankfurt, who defeated me 3-1. They got some good players who have joined their club like Palestri and Fernino. Dad, your schedule, it's been a better start than you could probably imagine.
Yep, definitely.
Through the first round of the Cup 7-0, beat Stuttgart 4-0.
Yep.
And
then
2 draws.
Really good draws, I feel.
Yeah. 93rd minute equaliser
against
from
the
Tony Marshall.
Best team in Germany.
Yeah. And a draw to Bayern Munich. with your keeper getting an 8.2 in that game.
Here we go.
So man of the match performance there. But you need a lot more performance like that because you are 3 points behind.
Yeah.
Going into this
I'll take that as a good
season
start,
4.
though.
But yeah, this is a good start for you. Let's see what happens then. Season number 4. Can Dad close the gap? And start at closing the gap. Oh, it's
On goal difference. That's a good season.
1 point extra there for you. Goal difference. Typical. Absolutely typical. You also get European football next season.
Yeah.
I don't, by the looks of it, finishing in 8th place. We had the exact same record.
Yeah.
17, 7, and 10. Out of the 10 games that I lost,
So you actually scored more goals than me, just I conceded less.
I didn't lose to you.
Oh, no.
Out of the 10 games you lost 1 to me. And we drew the other. So I gained that point back. Goals-wise, oh, look who's in the league. The Esposito brothers. Tony Martinez got 20 there. Harry Kane only got 21, so that's decent for Tony Martinez. Kiki Top had the second highest amount of player of the matches. And your keeper there had the third highest amount of clean sheets. So, looks like, again, you're a little bit more defensive compared to my style of play. What about, then? We're on Hamburg. How far are I getting the cups? Quarterfinals. None of us have come up against each other in the cups yet.
Unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, in season number 4. Unless... No, third round by Greuther Thurf. So,
I'm not happy with that.
Kiki Top was your top scorer, Dad. 13 goals there. You got 16 in total across all campaigns.
Still could have done one more, really. That's why I'm not getting... Well, that's why we're both not getting into the top, really, innit?
Yeah.
You need to be in the 25s, 26th in your league and goal scorer.
Yeah. What I will say, though, it's nice to see us using different strikers.
Yeah.
Because we could quite easily, and I'm very conscious of it, and Dad has become as conscious of it too now, is not signing the same players every time, because there's so many times we could sign the same players and we decide not to make it a little bit different compared to all the rest of them. So I've stopped Dad from signing one of the Esposito brothers every video, especially the striker.
Here's one of you. When was the last time I signed Frank Kessie?
Oh yeah, he's not returning your calls.
No,
It sounds of it. Out of the harassment charge.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ, him again.
Yeah. Even changed your wallpaper now, haven't you?
Yeah.
So to all 3 of the Esposito brothers just cut them. Not a bad season, but the goals, Dad, is where you are lacking for sure. Transfer budget 33 million. So even though the finances suck, and you got 55% now.
Yeah.
So it's not bad if you sell a player, but it's still not great. The debts and loans are £124 million. My squad, 24 goals from Tony Martinez is great. Sekou Koito with 9, as the next one's bad.
Exactly, that's what we were just saying. You got one person into the 20s, but nothing to follow him.
No, that's the trouble. So I need more goals, if anything. And my transfer's £12 million, but not a lot of wage budget. So to be honest, you're looking at around about £8 million, if that. If I get a free transfer and one transfer, I'd be lucky. But okay, points tally. Let's have a look at it. So at the end of season number 4, Omega Luke with 1, Omega Dad also with 1, which means the total points going into the final season is Omega Luke with 7, Omega Dad with 4. Now, controversial. You lost your player on the final day of the window due to a release clause and was not able to spend the money to bring in a replacement.
That's the worst thing about it. I mean, it's 85 million for a player that I'd signed on a freebie.
Yeah.
Great for the club. You can understand why they've let him go.
It was a release clause. You had no chance. You had no choice.
I mean, I only get 40 million of that, but it's such a late date. I just couldn't even use the money, could I? It was like right on the last sort of second of transfer deadline, so I couldn't even spend the money to get a replacement in.
85 million, and you had 55% of it, which means your transfer budget remained at 40 million as the window closed.
Yeah.
Which is heartbreaking, really, because obviously you had needed to replace him. But you did bring in some players.
Yeah.
£12 million on Nicolas Romero there as a good centre-back option there. 6-1. Valentin Gendry from Lecce, good right-back option. Elmas from Leipzig, £6.75 million. He used to be an absolute baller.
Yeah.
Dropped off a little bit, but still good.
Good player.
Still creative.
I was pleased again. I thought this is probably one of my better signings of the 5 seasons, I think, really.
But that's
for the price.
That's the only signings you managed to bring in, and losing Nuama is a devastating blow. So obviously you've had to change tactic on the final day, which means we don't really know how it's going to be, because last season and at the start of this season you were using the 4-2-2 because you had Ernest Nuama, he would be playing right wing, and then after losing him, it's kind of like, okay, now we don't have enough wingers to play on that right hand side. you're going to have to go for 3 across the midfield there with Vega and Elmas, who plays as Mazzala anyway, so he kind of drifts.
I was fortunate really with him being so good at that position as well. It sort of just filled that position for me as well. So almost the same tactic. But.
So it's not the end of the world.
No.
Keeper injury, how long's that? 3 to 5 weeks. Oof.
I was quite surprised with this team as well. How good Parrott was for me as well. He was, when I signed him, I didn't think he'd be as good as he was, but he keeps Martial out of the team.
Yeah, I mean, only 9 goals though.
Yeah.
Whereas Martial last season 10.
Yeah.
In less games.
But that's been our problem. We haven't had that second goal scorer banging goals in for us.
No, not at all. All right, so let's have a look at your schedule then, Dan, and see how it's been going before you lost Nuama. So you've had to play Europa Conference League playoff path, but you beat Lyon in both games. Kiki top scoring quite a lot of goals as well. He's got a hat-trick in the second leg. Ernest Nuama got a brace in the first. So he left after helping you get European football.
Yeah, so not too bad.
Can't be too mad. Troy Parrott actually started the season quite well. A 2-0 win there for Fortuna Dusseldorf where he scored. And he also got 2 goals in the loss to Dortmund. And I believe Schalke and Dortmund are actually main rivals as well.
Are they?
So, yeah, you shouldn't actually be bragging about how much you like Dortmund if you're the manager of Schalke. Werder Bremen is a bad loss though, Dad.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So it's not a great start there. Let's have a look at your Europa Conference League games. You've got 6 of them. We have got Dinamo Minsk, Brentford. They've done well to get in there.
Yeah.
Punic, who I've never heard of. They are an Armenian side. So it's look at that view.
Cool.
That is a stadium I would like to visit. That is cool. I mean, the Republican Stadium after Zavgun. So is it like before then? What was it called?
Don't know.
When that guy, whoever it was, died, it's like, let's call our stadium the Republican Stadium after. So obviously it's probably some kind of link either to the club or to the country. Not quite sure. If you know who Zazgan Sarge San is, let me know. He's a really controversial figure. I apologize. You also play Sparta Prague, Lillestrøm, and Universidad Craiova, who is a Romanian side.
I should go through there. Brentford and Prague are probably my hardest games, I think.
Yeah.
So I should go through, I think.
Let's have a look, see at my schedule and my transfers. I brought in a couple of free transfers. I didn't really get a lot of money, to be honest, at the end of last season. So I only spent £15 million, or £15 million I had, on one player, Abdul Mumin, centre-back, good pace, 29 years of age, 6'2". I like him, to be honest, and I think he's definitely improvement on what I already had here. Joaquin from Huesca, free transfer. And then we've also got Elias Achiori, again, another winger. I needed squad depth in there, and I think actually both of them go into my starting 11. I've changed a couple of the roles in the 4-4-2. I wasn't necessarily entirely happy with how we did last season, so now I've got a box and a ball-winning midfielder. We've got 2 wingers, a pressing forward and an advanced forward. And as you can see there, the 2 wingers actually go into the lineup. Now, schedule-wise, it's been very good. I beat a team 14-0 in the first round of the Cup. Love that. I beat the best German side in the world, Eintracht Frankfurt, 4-2. That was 2 late goals as well. 91st and 93rd minute. I'm really sorry, Frankfurt fans. Union Berlin 2-0. Again, another late one. But then I lost 3-5 to Leipzig, who have a far superior side. And they got the likes of Joe Rego, Savio in there as well as keeping hold of Benjamin Sesko, who's, we all know, a very dangerous player.
Yeah.
It's the final season. I've still got a slight advantage. Dad needs a huge season if he is to win this. Let's see what happens. Final season then, Dad stormed up into 3rd place.
Really pleased with that.
Ernest Nuama, who?
Yeah, who needed him anyway?
Exactly. I finished all the way down in 8th place. That's kind of where, I will say, is although I'm disappointed with that and I haven't had European football in one season, not once have I finished in the bottom half.
No.
So I'm happy with that in some ways.
Yeah, I think we've both done well, really, to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the budgets that we've been getting as well.
Or not getting.
Or not getting, yeah.
Dad, you finished on 62 points. It's some way off the top spot, but only just behind 2nd place.
Yeah, and when you look at my last 5 games, I lost 2 and drew 1. I could have done them as well.
Yeah, finished above Dortmund too. So there we go.
Yeah.
10 losses though.
So for the 5
points.
So for the 5 seasons, 10 games, I beat you once.
Yeah. Can't believe that. So you get a point finishing higher. I get 2 points for beating you in
Dummy
both
again.
games. Let's have a look at the profile of the league. Tony Martinez, 21 goals. Seiko Koita with 15. They've put out a nice little strike partnership. Look who's in the average rating. Udre Ogo, who plays Bayern Munich now. Looking absolutely insane. Well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Cup competitions. I knocked down the second Augsburg as well. That's disappointing. But Dad, you have not only in the DFB Pokal, but you also have European football.
Yeah.
I expect you to do well in that competition. Won the DFB Pokal.
Get it.
That's 3 points. Beat Werder Bremen in the final. So third round knocked out Hertha Berlin. Quarter final knocked out Dortmund. Semi-final knocked out Leipzig. You deserve to win it.
Yeah.
You went on and deserved to win
Get
it.
in.
Huge season there. What I will say, though, is highest average rating. Seiko Koita, 10. Tony Martinez, 10. Because I beat that team 30-0, 40-0, wasn't it? Brilliant. In the Europa Conference League, though, Sparta Prague.
I had them in the group. I had them in the
16.
groups. We obviously both of us went through in the group stages.
Yeah. Brentford finished one higher, and you lost 1 game to Brentford.
Yeah.
You won the other 5 games. You beat them in the league phase 3-1.
And then they beat me in the ring.
Because they finished down in 16th. They went to
that'd
the
have been over
knockout
2 legs as
playoff
well, wouldn't it?
round. Yeah, and they beat, who did they beat there? AIK from Sweden, 3-0 on aggregate. Then that's when they beat you 3-1. So it's the same result, but on an aggregate scoring.
Yeah.
That's a huge chance wasted because by the looks of it, quarterfinal, look at the teams in the quarterfinal.
It's only Brentford just sticks out.
It's only Brentford, isn't
Yeah.
it? Really, you
I'll
would
be very
say would
surprised
probably
they-
have money
Yeah.
to buy a good side. Semi-final, Hajduk Split defeated PAOK, and Sparta Prague lost to Brentford, and Hajduk Split beat Brentford in the final 3-1. That's
Yeah.
mental. There's a huge opportunity wasted.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that might have just cost me. Really, I mean, I don't know now. I can't mark points out I made. I think it's the games that I've lost.
I can.
I didn't need to lose. I needed to win the games as well, didn't I?
Kiki Top, 32 goals, Dad, this
That's
season.
better.
16 for Troy
So
Parrott.
it goes to show you get one of your bench strikers bang up there and have another striker following him. You finish up in the top 5.
Yeah, 10 and 10 for Brian Kill and Elmas. And then we've got in Hamburg 25 goals from Tony Martinez, 17 from Seiko Koita. Isn't bad. Transfer budget for me, £9 million for anybody who wants to take over my Hamburg side, but you haven't got European football again.
No.
If you can get me some European football, that would be great. Dad's transfer budget, though. 92 million.
That usually happens to you.
It does. We've literally swapped positions, haven't
Well,
we?
40 million of that was from last season that I didn't
Yeah,
spend.
that's
didn't it,
true,
really?
yeah.
So-
The bank loan's still there.
oh, 90 million.
That's mental. Yeah, they haven't sold anybody else. So that's just on top.
Yeah.
It's still only 55% of the transfer revenue, but I guess just
that's
there
it.
is a lot of money in the Bundesliga if you finish high.
Yeah.
Because look at your balance now, 137. You have a good season in the Bundesliga, you get a lot of money, so
I mean, I
that's
didn't-
decent.
For me, this is going to be one of my hardest rebuilds because I just couldn't sell players to get a fund to start
No.
buying players. And you know, I mean, you always said that I do waste a bit of money, but I did struggle with this one.
Waste a lot of money. Wasted a lot. At least now you've waited for the excuses instead of bringing the violin out before season 5.
I mean, I'm pleased with how I've done, but when you think as well that I didn't have much money and I lost 2 of my best players by far,
Yeah.
really, for no money.
And didn't really get to spend it.
Yeah.
No.
So I didn't use that money at all.
One replaced the other, so one
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
And
true.
maybe you would have signed him
Yeah.
still because he's only a free transfer.
Yeah.
You probably would have signed him still.
Yeah, because I was looking to go for a winger, really. So I'd have had a strong midfield and gone for wingers.
Yeah.
Because
You
I
might have
got
had both.
Brian Gill in, didn't I? So
Yeah.
once I got him in, I'd made my mind up then to go for another winger
Yeah.
and go for 2 wingers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might have got him in, but it'd have been interesting to see what my team would have been like if I had both of them as
Yeah,
well.
if you managed to keep hold of both
Yeah.
because you weren't far off second,
No.
so you could have been even further. But let's have a look at the points tally because winning that cup, don't think it matters. That's right, because the season points are Omega Luke with 2, Omega Dad with 4, meaning the total points are Omega Luke with 9, Omega Dad with 8. 1 point in it. We said that it would come down to who's beating who.
Yeah.
You just didn't beat me.
No.
Hardly at all.
One
1
game.
point. Yeah.
One game I beat you.
Yeah.
It goes to show it. You're thinking of like winning in the cups and finishing higher in the league. You think, oh yeah, I've got this in the bag. No, you haven't.
No.
because it can cancel out quite easy with the 2 points you were gaining every time during the season by beating me.
Yeah.
You were just 1 point ahead of me every time then.
And I think it kind of like gives you a perspective on how we do these rebuilds, where technically I won on points, but Dad's rebuild was far better.
Yeah.
Far better. You won a cup. You had European football at least twice, guaranteed Champions League football for the next season.
Yeah.
I didn't have it at all.
No.
I only finished above you once, and yet I won.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
Technically,
you'd look at
the
it. Who's
rebuild.
better? Who'd done better? And you'd think, well, obviously I have, because I'm finishing better than you each time. So, but
Yeah.
I think it was one season you finished higher than me, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you had the better rebuild, but I won on points. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check out this video here, because I took on the Pentagon Challenge. And boy, oh boy, was it difficult.